Promo Gold 4 presents Science Week.
We were decorating the classroom for Science Week. Everything was fun until look! My classmate fell on his arm. Oh no! I had to think fast. Guess what I did? I took my classmate's hoodie, folded it into a sling. I led everyone to the clinic. Now he's feeling a lot better. Problem solved. I'm an Alpha Kid.
Powered by Promo Gold 4. Your child can be an Alpha Kid too. Visit facebook.com/Promo Gold 4.
Hi everyone, welcome to Raising Alpha Kids While at Home. This is a live discussion series where we will be talking about tips on how moms can effectively raise alpha kids and give them the advantage even while they are at home. This is brought to you by Promil Gold 4 and Rappler. And of course, thank you very, very much for joining me. My name's Isa Litton, and it'll be a pleasure to be part of this discussion with our expert for today. But before anything else, any advice given by our guest expert should not be misconstrued as a prescription for any drug or medication, okay? The advice provided by our expert is not intended also as a substitute for professional medical advice, nor for medical diagnosis or treatment. Please, we always encourage you to please consult with your own healthcare professionals. And last but not least, in compliance with the Milk Code, questions and concerns in our discussion today are only for children 3 years old and above. So, again, welcome to Raising Alpha Kids While at Home. You're probably wondering, what is an alpha kid? Who are alpha kids? Well, they are kids who are smart. They are on top of their game. They're interested in always doing better. They're actually great at problem solving. They're fast thinkers, independent, and they have leadership qualities. So that's what Alpha Kids are all about. And definitely, we all want that for our children, right? So for today, in this third episode of Raising Alpha Kids at Home, we will explore the nutritional needs of our children, how we can supplement them with these during our prolonged stay at home. So please share also your thoughts and comments while the discussion is going on, please. We would love to hear from all of you, whether you have questions or inputs about your own experiences when we are in our discussion. Please let us know your experiences and comments by writing them down on the comment section below. For more interesting discussions, by the way, you can also check out facebook.com/PromilGold4. That is the Promil Gold 4 Facebook page. So, without further ado, let's introduce our guest expert. She is the Board of Director and Treasurer of the Philippine Association of Nutrition, Food Scientist, and Associate Director for Medical Nutrition for Wyeth Nutrition Philippines. We have Ms. Jong Icasiano.
Hi, Isa. How are you doing?
Oh, great. I'm really looking forward to today's discussion, Ms. Jong, and I'm glad to see you again.
Yes, we are already on a ninth week of quarantine, Isa, and I'm sure our children are already really bored to death. And as you have mentioned a while ago, the topic that we're going to have some small talk about is on raising our alpha kids in terms of nutrition. And as you have mentioned and as you have discussed, when we speak of alpha kids, these are fast learners. So when we speak of fast learners, we usually associate it to their cognitive development, and synonymously, when we speak of cognitive development, we actually refer to brain development. And in terms of brain development, I would really tell all our mothers out there that it is very important to feed the brain by using or by employing what we call proper nutrition. Remember, Isa, I'd just like to share with you that the brain is a very highly active organ.
Mm-hmm.
Brain
it's
development,
our control center, our command center.
yeah,
for
control
everything.
center.
Yeah.
And fast development occurs actually starting on the third trimester of pregnancy, around 24 months, and it actually plateaus around 3 years of age. But still, we have to make sure that we optimize the development of the brain. And one enabler and one of the major factors for brain development is actually nutrition.
Yes. Actually, you know what, Miss Jong, the past episodes we've been talking about outside stimulation, be it physical activities or even online activities. But let's not forget, this is the most basic of them all. It's what we eat. It is what
Correct.
we feed our bodies with. And that's why nutrition is really definitely a very important topic for everyone. And as you mentioned, when it comes to 3 years old and above, this is still a very critical stage in
Yes.
brain development. What
Correct.
happens pa? How does nutrition help with brain development 3 years old and above?
Well, remember when we're talking about the brain, you have to feed the brain, you have to feed the body. And when it comes to that, we are talking about nutrition specifically on food intake.
Mm-hmm.
So the foods that we feed our children contains nutrients. And when we speak of a brain development, which results to very good cognitive development, we have to make sure that we provide both macronutrients, those are carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, and
Okay.
micronutrients, or vitamins and minerals. And as I've said, the brain is really a fat intensified or is fat intense organ. Did you know that 60% of brain is composed of fat? So when
So
we
it's
want, yeah,
okay.
it's
So brain
fat.
is
It's,
fat.
it's a fatty
Okay.
organ. Okay.
Okay.
Brain is fatty organ because 60% of the brain is composed of fat. So therefore, in order for you to enhance and optimize brain development and therefore cognitive development, we have to feed the brain with the right types of fat. And when we
So
speak of
fat.
right,
You
yeah,
need fat, especially for
correct,
three
fat.
years old and above.
Yes,
Kasi
yes.
for adults, galit sa fat, di ba? Bad for the heart, bad for the, all that. But for children, they need fats.
I would like to emphasize that the right fat is not bad. Actually, the body needs fat. It is one of the essential macronutrients. You cannot not have fat in the diet. It just so happens that you have to have or to choose the right type of fat. And when we speak of brain development, we have what you call brain fats. These are your phospholipids. Phospholipids. Okay, well, it's a mouthful, but it's a type of fat that is specific to brain because we need to establish very good brain connections in order to promote and enhance cognitive development. And there goes your alpha kids.
Okay, let me remember my scientific terms. These connections are called synapses. Ito yung
Yes,
synapse, di ba? So yun yung parang the train of
connect.
thought, yung kaya mabilis, i-connect from one end to the other. Depende kung saan lalabas, be it visual, kung kailangan mong gumalaw, and yung the actual process of pag-iisip, the thinking process, connecting the dots, kumbaga. So
Correct.
bringing it back to what you actually said, Miss Jong, you need phospholipids,
Yeah,
particularly
you have to stimulate it by
alpha-lipids.
phospholipids. Specifically, there are a lot of phospholipids. You have your, it's a mouthful, but the evidence show that there's a specific type of phospholipid. We call it sphingomyelin.
Oh, wow.
That yeah, it's another mouthful.
Okay.
Sphingomyelin that actually promotes and enhances brain connectivity or brain connection so that you get to have a very good brain development. And when you have good brain development, this results to enhanced cognitive development. So
I
fast thinking.
at the top of every parent's mind right now, nagtatanong na yan, saan namin makukuha yan? Pero sige, hold on parents. Hold on parents.
Okay.
I know you're asking, saan namin makukuha yung hindi ko masabi yung word na sinabi ni Miss Jo. But yung phospholipid na yon. Bago tayo pumunta sa napaka-importanting question na yan, I just want to elevate the question. So obviously, again, phospholipids, macronutrients are needed for any child 3-year-old and above. But particularly naman now for alpha kids, because yung nga, fast thinkers, problem solvers, how do you heighten this pa? Is it still there? We have to stick to phospholipids still?
Well,
Is that
you
key?
know what? In terms of nutrition, no single nutrient can actually do the job.
Okay.
Okay, no single nutrient. So therefore, it has to be a synergy between your fats, your carbohydrates, and your protein. And then, as I said, because 60% of the brain is fat, then we have to feed that requirement. So, as I've said, fat, phospholipids, and then we have other nutrients like your DHA and AA. These are, again, examples of fats, specifically fatty acids. Okay, then you have your choline, which is a vitamin. Then you have your iron. So put them all together. These are what you call your brain nutrients that
Para
when
pa.
they work they are in synergy with each other, will optimize, will promote brain connections and therefore brain development.
Okay, now let's break it down. Here's the magic questions, mommies and daddies, because it sounds like a lot of technical terms, di ba? Saan ba? Anong klaseng pagkain ang nagpo-provide ng mga
Okay.
ito? What kind of
Okay.
foods will give us phospholipids, these iron, the wonderful
AA, choline. So let
So
me
where do
first
we get them?
concentrate on your DHA, AA, and of course your phospholipids. So anything that is high fat, the good types of fat, your fish, for example, your eggs, for example, vegetable oils, for example, vegetable oils, hindi animal oils, because we have
Example of vegetable oil,
mantika
like palm
example of
palm oil,
vegetable oils are
corn.
coconut oil, palm oil, corn oil, peanut oil, soya oil, or peanut or olive oil, for example.
Okay. Yun
So
yung
this,
pagluto natin, 'di ba? We use that for
yes, yes,
cooking. So those are good
yes,
oil. Okay, that's
yeah.
good to know.
Vegetable oils are generally and basically good oils. Okay,
Butter.
so they
Ano,
actually help.
not butter.
Well, butter
That's
is an animal fat.
animal fat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an animal fat.
Okay.
So it's, well, we have to take it in moderation, or if we can not take it at all. Okay.
Okay. So
So
vegetable oil is good. Okay.
vegetable oils. And then, of course, you have your fatty fish, which is very good sources of good types of fats, like your phospholipids. Your egg is a very good source. Your milk, specifically fortified milks, are very good sources of good fats.
Okay. So again, think of fats because sometimes when you say milk, it's calcium. When you say eggs,
Yeah.
protein. Pero again, we're thinking fats for the brain, ha? Mommies and daddies.
Yes.
We need
Sure.
certain kinds of good fats for brain development. Again,
For
we're
brain.
focusing on brain development here. So, okay.
These are your brain nutrients. And then, of course, you were asking a while ago, Isa, your iron. We can get that again from hemp sources, like meats are very rich in bioavailable iron. Of course, we cannot also discount that other plants and vegetables contain iron, like your malunggay, for example. But the good type of iron, the iron that will really be bioavailable, easily absorbed by our body, will be that comes from flesh meats, like
Chicken,
meat, for
pork,
example.
beef.
Chicken, yes. Pork.
Pork and beef are okay as
Yes,
well?
yes.
Okay.
For
But
iron.
sorry, Miss Jong. Napa-doctor na ako. Sorry. Sorry,
And
Miss
that's
Jong.
Dr. Isa.
Yeah. No. Miss Jong. Fish are like what? Like tuna,
Tuna, your salmon,
tilapia. What about our
tilapia,
locals? Galunggong, tilapia.
galunggong. Yes, galunggong. That's but in terms of phospholipids, we have to maybe be more discriminating with the fatty types of fish.
Of fish.
Yung matabang fish. So tuna is a high fat intensive type of fish.
Okay. So again, it's nice that the things that you're mentioning are foods now, I'm sure most moms
Available.
and dads are exactly who are watching right now, sasabihin nyo na, yay, we really serve that naman, especially
Yes.
with Pinoy dishes, diba? Be it our adobo, sinigang, we like naman vegetables most of the time with Pinoy dishes as well.
Yes.
Kung mga fried din, as long as you're using vegetable oil, pasok
Yes,
pa rin yung
vegetable
good
oil.
fats, right? So from that, what happens then? I mean, at least we've broken down some of the foods that our parents can now keep in mind when it comes to serving good nutrition for our kids, particularly for brain development. Pero let's go to the opposite end naman. What if good nutrition is not provided? Kasi especially now we have all this time at home, mag-aminan parents, snacking. Ang daming snacking. It's not just breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Merong between breakfast and lunch, and for sure merienda, at least twice, siguro 2 o'clock and 4 o'clock, kumakain ng mga kids natin. Be it sandwich, aminin na natin, cookies, crackers. So, is snacking good, Miss Jong?
Well, snacking should be part of the diet. Actually, we eat like 5 times a day. We eat 3 major meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and then in between meals. That is okay. But the really important thing to know is, what snacks do we give our kids?
Yes.
Okay? Snacking becomes not very healthy if it's composed of your chichirya. I don't know
Uh-oh.
how we term chichirya. These are your they call it snack
Chips.
food, diba?
Yeah,
Your
chips.
chips. But well, chips can provide you calories, but then it contains a lot of. It's very high in salt.
But
There are also
they're
some snacks that are very high in
sugary.
sugar.
Ayun.
Yes,
So too much
and
salt,
there
too much sugar. Bad.
and we have the third. They can also be a very high source of fat, specifically your hydrogenated fats, which are the healthy types of fat. Because remember, that's the reason why cookies are really scrumptious.
Mm.
Bread has this certain texture is because of the fat that we use. It's actually
And
hydrogenated fat. And
is that good?
hydrogenated fat, it's not, it's actually unhealthy. They call it trans fatty acids.
Okay, so
It's
it's
trans fat.
not good. That is
Yeah,
the
so
bad fat.
that's the bad fat. So right now, manufacturers are very mindful already on the fat that they use for breads or cookies. They usually say vegetable fats or
Mhm.
vegetable oils. But if you see on the labels of the foods that we eat is
Hydro.
hydrogenated, then we have to be a little wary
And
about
you can
this
see it
because
in the label.
it should
Parents,
be
you can see it in the label if you
because
buy
it
these
should be
snacks.
declared
Yeah.
on the label.
So
The
keep
same
in
manner,
mind,
yeah,
sorry, so
hydrogenated
keep in
fat.
mind hydrogenated fats and trans fats,
Yeah,
big no. Do not, it's bad
hydrogenated
fat.
fat is an example of a trans fat.
Okay. But
Yeah,
okay, what again, other bad snacks, if it's too salty or
too
too
salty,
sugary,
too
no.
sugary, and using the wrong type of fat. But if you
Okay.
give snacks like fruits, fruits or
Sandwich.
cookies, sandwich is okay for as
Sandwiches
long
are
as
okay.
you know where or how the bread is made, and then you put some tuna in between, or
Peanut
like
butter.
peanut butter
Is
is
it?
a healthy that's actually a source of vegetable oils,
Okay,
which
there.
is healthy.
Butter and jam pa nga para other flavor like a mango jam or
Yeah, but be
jams are
careful
okay.
with
Be careful
jams
with the
because
sugar.
it's sugar intensive. It
Okay,
has,
cheese,
yeah.
grilled cheese
Cheese is
sandwiches.
okay. Cheese is
Okay.
actually a dairy. It's part of our food group, which is okay.
Okay, so again, snacks, be mindful of too much salt, too much sugar, and the trans fat or
Yes,
hydrogenated fat. So
correct.
we at least we cleared that out. Now, what if again you don't get the proper nutrition? What happens? So kumakain na yung mga
Okay.
bata, and at least we know what to steer clear of. Now let's go to the extreme end of the spectrum. What if they don't get the proper nutrition? Because aminin na natin also in the hard areas of the Philippines, all they eat is rice.
Yeah.
Walang ulam.
So I'd like to answer that your question, Isa, but by discussing what proper nutrition is, so that
Okay, proper
uh,
first to
yeah,
know.
the opposite side that they will be able to know. When we speak of proper nutrition, this is actually ensuring that our kids are able to receive items from the seven food groups. I always want to talk about the seven food groups.
11.
Before, Isa, dati kasi tatlo lang yan eh, go, grow, glow. And
Yes,
the
that's what I know.
WHO, yeah, the WHO actually made it more clear so that the moms, people, the population will be able to know that, am I eating healthy or not? So we have seven food groups. We have your grains. So dyan magagaling yung rice mo, yung
Rice.
cereals mo, yung root crops mo, yung kamote, banana. They are classed under that food group. And
That's
then you have your
grains,
dairy, grains. And then you have your dairy and cheese.
milks
So
and cheeses.
your milk, your cheese, and your butter, especially from animal fat, is actually under dairy. Then you have two groups for fruits that and vegetables. So you have a vitamin A rich fruits and vegetables, and then you have other fruits and vegetables. So they
Meaning
have
the
classification.
carrots and squash versus the
Yeah,
green leafy vegetables. Am I
yes,
right?
correct.
Okay.
Correct. So vitamin A rich fruits and vegetables and other fruits and vegetables. So
Okay.
those, and then we have a fifth food group that is your egg. That is the reason why our mommies, I encourage you to give your child one egg a day. So
One.
dati isa, the food group will say, oh, you give uh, people at least just 3 to 4 eggs in a week.
Oh, so
So
not every
yes,
day. Not one egg a
before
day. Okay.
before. But
But
now the
now
food
one egg a day is good.
you can eat one boiled or one piece of egg every day. So that's the fifth group.
And you can mix it, sorry, Miss Jong, we can mix it up. Fried egg, sunny side up egg, omelette, hard-boiled egg. I think it's interesting for the kids.
Well, you can cook your egg boiled today. Tomorrow, maybe you can have it sunny side up, or the
Yeah.
next day you can have it omelette. It really depends on how you want to make it more appetizing to
Yes.
your
Okay, so
child.
that's the fifth, egg.
The
So
sixth is flesh meat. So if you have your
chicken,
pork, beef,
beef.
chicken, fish, that's the sixth, and then the seventh are your legumes. So your munggo, your
Okay, legume.
soybeans, your tofu. So what is a healthy food, or what is a healthy diet? A healthy diet should be able you should be able to have a representative or an
All
item
seven.
from the seven food group
In a day's time, per
in a
day. I
day's
mean,
time.
it
So
doesn't have to be
maybe
all seven for breakfast, all seven for lunch. No,
you
no,
can
no.
actually
It's
split it
within a day. Oo.
within a day.
Okay.
Yes.
May percentage ba to, Miss Jong? Like,
Wala,
how much meat, how
wala
much egg,
naman.
how
But
much,
we have
as long as you hit seven.
But we have a plate now. We call it a healthy plate, or we have our FNRI Pinggang Pinoy. So half of your plate should be your grains and vegetables. One fourth of your plate should be your flesh meat. The other fourth should be your dairy and your other items on the food groups. And of course, milk should be part of that daily diet.
Wow. Okay, so that's seven food groups from, again, mga parents. Aminin na natin, we are just familiar with Go, Grow, Glow. But thank you to Miss Jong for spelling out the seven food groups that we should be able to supply our children or give our children on a daily basis. As long as you provide the seven food groups in one day, you are at least assured that you're giving them the proper nutrition for good brain development. Now, that's why I want to go back. What if only three of these food groups are available? That I only have rice. Let's base it on ayuda. Ayuda
Yeah,
nowadays is just rice and a can of sardines. You're lucky if you get bread.
You know
So,
what? Yeah, Isa. You know what? That's the reason why they advocate the seven food groups, because if you take the seven food groups, you are assured that the body is able to receive all the essential nutrients. And by essential nutrients, we mean carbohydrates, proteins, fats, your vitamins, your minerals, and your other important nutrients. Now, if you, to your question, you were saying that, um,
what if you're not able? Okay, let me take
yeah,
that back. So, what if you're not able to give all seven food groups to
yeah.
your children? Like for today, because I hardly get to go shopping. That's something most moms nowadays do not have the luxury anymore. You're just dependent on what's available. In fact, nowadays, if your barangay or village actually has this offering of the market going to you, it's still limited supply. So
Correct.
sometimes maybe today, no meats, no fish, only
So there's
vegetables, right? What happens
so,
if you don't give all seven?
so there is a very high chance that you are not able to get all the essential nutrients. You may be wanting with some vitamins, some minerals, and you said earlier, what if puro kanin lang? Then you would just have carbohydrates in your plate. You may miss out on the essential proteins and or the essential fats.
Okay, essential fats. How about myths? Of course, again, see, apparently now Go Grow and Glow is practically a myth already because there's seven
Yes.
now. So another thing that I know growing up, to be smart, eat peanuts. Eat peanuts because they make you intelligent or smart. Is that
Well,
true?
Well,
What, a
peanut is
legume?
just one. It's yeah, it's a legume. Well, peanut is just one food item that will help you be or to help your brain be active. Remember, no one food can achieve optimizing your health and well-being, or optimizing brain development for that matter. It has to be a variety. Key here really in promoting optimum health, optimum brain development, for example, is a variety of food items in your daily diet.
Can you catch up? Like again, probably for some moms who go to market, because market availability is also limited nowadays, whether you go to the market or you have your food delivered to you, or sometimes even supermarkets are out of stock. It's not always fully stocked. So
Yeah.
is it okay, like maybe for the first 3 days, I have my veggies and fish, then maybe in the weekends we can have meat? Is that
Well,
still good?
that is still okay, Isa, because fish is a flesh meat. So if you don't have meat, fish is a very good source of protein as well. So
Like
it's
yung
okay.
vegetables.
And
Fruits.
then,
Oh, some fruits are hard to get also, actually.
well, that is what do you call this, a drawback if you are not able to eat fruits every day, because remember, nutrition is a daily thing. You cannot like not eat now this and then double your intake for the next day.
So
So
it doesn't work that way.
yeah, consistency and sustainability is very important for healthy nutrition and
So
healthy.
every
Yes,
single day, you have to at
yes,
least
every
provide
single
these.
day.
So
Yeah.
okay, Miss Jong, with that in mind, give us naman some nutrition hacks. What food can we serve the best in terms of nutritional value for kids, especially in this time when mobility and access to all these healthy foods are challenging?
Well,
So
there are some
nutrition
foods
hacks.
that we say, yeah. Yes, Isa, there are some foods that are considered complete. When we speak of complete, they already provide you at least all the essential nutrients, your carbohydrates, proteins, fats, vitamins, and minerals. Among the food items that are considered complete, but again, I would like to also share a word of caution that in terms of food, even though it is complete, it should not be
The only
um,
one
the
that you
only
serve.
one.
Yeah.
Because
Variety.
remember, in nutrition, it's always a variety. So
Okay, but
there are
these are the
two,
hacks.
yeah,
Yeah.
eggs and milk are actually complete foods. By
Of the seven.
definition, by definition of it can provide you all the essential nutrients. So we
Eggs and
consider
milk.
it eggs and milk. So they contain fat, they contain carbohydrates, they contain proteins, they contain vitamins and minerals, especially the fortified milks.
Okay, because usually vitamins and minerals are fruits and vegetables. So milk
Yes,
obviously
yes.
provides that as
That's the
well.
reason why you have to have a fortification to make it, because for the ordinary milk, just the regular cow's milk, they may be wanting in some other essential vitamins and minerals.
Mhm.
But if your milk is fortified, meaning to say there is an actual addition of vitamins and minerals, then by definition it can be considered complete. But again, I would like to emphasize it should not be the sole source of
Yeah.
nutrition.
Don't serve eggs and milk every single day. But the fact that you have it every day is a good thing.
Yes, but it
Yeah,
should not be the sole source, not be the
not the
sole
sole
food.
source. And
Yes.
here's another thing we can give tips, parents, mommies, and daddies out there. You can plant. Malunggay is practically a backyard thing, right?
Malunggay, kangkong.
Pantry, oo. These are
I
things we
have,
can grow.
I have actually seen a lot of friends posting on Facebook that they are already able to plant their own
Yep.
what's for your the ones
Your
that you
little
use for
farm.
salad,
Yeah.
from the
Lettuce.
kangkong,
Yeah.
the lettuce. They're very easy to propagate. Your tomatoes. So in terms of food security, that is actually what our government, specifically
Is
the
encouraging.
Department of Agriculture, is encouraging. And actually, that will already be part, Isa, of the new normal.
Yeah.
Being able to be food secure by means of backyard farming. You don't need to have a yard.
Urban gardening,
Yes, or
definitely.
yeah,
And I'm
correct.
sure, our moms and dads have a little place. I'm sure you could be able to find a little place in your backyard or even in your kitchen. Some even have it within their homes in little potted plants to make this happen.
Correct.
So that's something we can all look forward to, at least within these times that we are having a hard time
Yeah,
accessing
and
access
correct.
yeah access to great to our daily vegetables. At least we can grow our own. Miss Jong, so far again
Yes.
we've covered our foods, we've covered the food group types, we've covered what and how we should provide our children on a daily basis. But last but not least, ako speaking as a mom, and I'm being as real as I can here, some kids are picky.
Yeah,
We know it's
correct.
good for them, but will they eat it? Aha. So how can we
Number
encourage
one,
kids to eat?
Very tall order is that the parents should be role models.
Mm.
Because I cannot imagine a child who will eat vegetables if the mom and the dad or the care or the people in the house do not
Are
eat
not
vegetables
eating. That's so
themselves.
true. Miss Jong,
So
actually, I want to share, like in the kiddie parties before when my kids were much younger, like around 5 or 6 years old. I remember a co-parent asking, "Wow, your kids are eating what you're eating," because there was the adult table, the buffet for adults, and a kiddie buffet, which had your hot dogs, your cakes, your corn dogs, and pizzas, and all that. And they're like, "Wow, you didn't let your kids line up on the other table." I'm like, they can line up after they eat the real food. And they eat what I eat. Because the
yeah.
parent was like, good for you, because my child is all, processed foods or fast foods. They have to order delivery. And napahirit pa nga ako, di gutumin mo. Because now it was so hard to feed down their child. So I agree with you that you should be the model for your kids. They should eat what you eat. What if the kids are like, I don't want to eat that, mommy? Some kids.
Well, you know what? Sometimes when you look back at how you were able to transition the child, that is key. Actually, at 1 year old, the child should already be eating in the family or should be joining the family
Family
meal.
table.
Yeah, the family table. So
It's
what the
habit
child,
forming kasi.
yeah,
Habit
it's
forming.
habit forming and it's mirroring what the adults do. So I'm not for a child buffet table and an adult buffet table. When the
Separate.
child is able to run around, then they should be able to eat at the same buffet table where the adults eat. And I heard you saying, Isa, about processed foods.
Mm-hmm.
I just like to make some statements regarding processed foods. No, not all processed foods are bad. Actually,
Okay.
that's the
That's a
reason why.
food hack. That's still a food hack. Okay.
Yeah, the reason why we process foods is for us to be able to increase its nutritional value. That's the reason why we have fortification.
Okay.
So when you fortify a food, that's already a processed food. So that's still healthy provided you're able to deliver the essential nutrients. Like milk, fortified milk is in itself a processed food, but it's healthy. Okay,
And you can always check the label.
and
That's
you can
that's when you
always
check the
check
label
the
to
label.
see. Oh,
Yes.
that's a good
So
tip,
not
Miss
all
Jong.
processed foods, coming from a food science background and as a food scientist, not the all processed foods, Isa, are
Are
bad.
bad. And of
Yes.
course, it is part of living in this day and
Correct.
age. The
It's
the
part
fact
of
that
food
for your
security.
convenience, yeah, part of your convenience, part of food development and sciences. That is why fortification is part of today's living. So
Correct.
another thing before we leave this topic, picky eaters.
Ah,
Another
yeah,
tip I just
Peter.
wanted to share. I my yaya used to hide veggies like in a chicken pot pie. So I would always just think potatoes and chicken only, right? But you already put the peas. You can even put kale in it, like a quiche. So you
Oo.
hide it in the sauce in your menudo. Diba? There's carrots in menudo.
It takes a lot of creativity, Isa, to make a picky child eat. It is challenging, but when you allow them to outgrow their pickiness, it's a relief. It's such a milestone for a mom. Picky eating or children who are averse to some types of food are difficult, but they should not stop us from providing them nutritious meals by being really creative and making sure that they get all the essential nutrients that they need to optimize their growth and development.
I think it's the modeling. When you mention modeling, as long as you show your kids this is what mommy and daddy are eating too. And oh,
Yeah.
one last tip for parents, for co-parents out there, help them. Let them help you in preparing the food, be it even in setting the table. I think that's a great way to get them involved and be excited about food,
Yeah,
eating the food that they prepared, right? So
totally agree with you, Isa. Get
great.
them involved. And then in the process, also point out that this is good for you, that this is your vegetable rich in vitamin A to make you more alert.
All good stuff.
Yeah, all
Oh,
good.
you already mentioned what our children need to eat, the 7 food groups, how you gave us tips on how to make sure they eat it as well. But now for a parent, how can I see the physical manifestation then that my child, my alpha kid, is getting the nutrition that they're really, is getting the proper nutrition? What is the physical manifestation, like some sort of developmental milestone that I should look out for?
Physical development milestone will entail height and weight, Isa.
Okay.
Weight increases, height increases, but the more accurate measure of determining if your child is nutritionally okay or nutritionally sound, his nutritional status is okay, is how he is able to increase in height.
Height.
Yes, height. For 3 years old, the healthy height will be at least 100 centimeters, and then when he reaches 4 years old, it will be 110 centimeters. So it's something. Height increases is something that we earn over time. It's not like in the next 2 months you're going to increase in height by, let's say, 6
1
centimeters.
inch. Okay.
Or 1 inch. It's too much for. Yeah, it's too much.
Yeah.
1 inch is like 2 It's like close to 3 centimeters.
Miss Jong, what if some parents are probably thinking, what if it's not my body type? What if lahi talaga ng pamilya ko na hindi kami matatangkad? How about that?
Well, you know what, Isa? We have the WHO Child Growth Standards, CGS, and they say that physical development in terms of height does not really, has no bearing. Genetics has very little bearing to how a child's height potential is achieved. Nutrition and an enabling environment really spells the difference. So it does not mean that if your mom is like, your mom is not very tall, then it will eventually lead to a not very tall child, for example. That's actually a myth. Okay. Because for as long as you're able to provide good nutrition, you're able to provide an enabling environment, the conditions are very conducive, then you're going to break that cycle of not growing optimally or not increasing height optimally.
To avoid being stunted. And another word, I want to pick up on a word you used earlier, Miss Jong. It's the alertness. Again, it's not just physical height. You said physical height is linked, how your child is growing physically taller is linked to brain development. But think about the brain in general. It's being alert. Hindi sila antukin.
Yes.
They're not, nangihina. They're not like that. They're alert. They're awake, and they're eager. They have energy. I think these are they also developmental milestones that we can see how proper nutrition is working for our children?
I am not, my expertise is not on developmental pediatrics, no, but nutrition really plays a very important part in enhancing the alertness, in enhancing brain development and cognitive development. That's why I cannot overemphasize the need to provide like your good fats, your other nutrients, your DHA and AA, for example, your iron, your phospholipids, your healthy carbohydrates to the child in order to ensure that he receives the proper stimulus in terms of optimum development.
Wonderful. And especially when it comes to our brain development. So nutrition with brain development, telling us more about, you mentioned macronutrients, fats, phospholipids. What about the term alpha lipid?
Well, alpha lipids is actually an ingredient. Well, again, it's a mouthful. It's a whey protein concentrate that is patently processed to increase the phospholipids that are present in fats. Alpha lipids are actually ingredients that we can see in fortified foods. Milk, for example, is a classic, wherein if you fortify it with alpha lipids, then it can be a source of phospholipids, specifically sphingomyelin, for example, that is very important to enhance, speed up brain connections to result to very good cognitive development.
Wow. So that's when you say times 100, times 50, and all that. It again
In the process of
amplifies.
myelination. Yeah,
Wow.
correct.
But again, so
Right.
thank you very, very much, Miss Jong, with again all these wonderful tips on nutrition, what we need to give our kids, especially when we want to keep them ahead during these trying times. It's no excuse for us parents to say we didn't know any better. Because again, I want to say thank you very, very much to everyone who's been tuning in. I hope you're sharing as well your experiences with us. You're commenting on the tips Miss Jong is giving. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. And before we let Miss Jong go, top considerations again when you're looking for great nutrition for our children, Miss Jong, give us again your tips, final tips when it comes to providing good nutrition for our children.
Well, thank you for that, Isa. I would like to leave this takeaway messages for our moms and parents alike. Number one, diet variety is key to providing good nutrition among our children. So I cannot overemphasize once again the 7 food groups. It is important that we get a representative, one item from the 7 food groups daily in order to be able to optimize our nutrition and health
Per day.
and well-being. Yeah. The second one that I would like to share with our audience is that when we speak of nutrition, specifically proper nutrition, key here is sustainability and consistency. Okay, we have to make
Sustainability
sure
meaning we get it from?
we have to sustain the quality of nutrition. We should be able to sustain the quality of nutrition that we give our children, and we have to be consistent. It's not like today you give them vegetables, tomorrow you won't give them. So it has to
Every
be every
single
day.
day.
Every single day. And the last tip, milk, specifically the fortified and formulated types of milk, should be an integral part of a child's diet. Actually, an integral part of the diet across the lifespan. So whether you're a child, you're an adult like you and I, Isa, an old person, milk should be part of your diet.
Across your lifespan.
Across the lifespan, yes.
Wonderful, wonderful, Miss Jong. That was definitely a wonderful session with you. Parents, I hope you got some great tips learning from Miss Jong Icasiano. Thank you very, very much to our nutritionist guest, Miss Jong Icasiano. Please write down your favorite tip in the comment section so that also you can share that. And remember to share that with all of your friends, co-parent friends. Miss Jong, it's been a pleasure. And again, thank you very, very much for everything you shared today, especially
My
variety,
pleasure.
sustainability, and consistency.
Correct.
Thank you, Miss
Thank you,
Jong.
Isa.
Take care. So with that,
Thank you, you too.
to moms and dads watching, thank you very, very much again. Did you like and enjoy today's discussion? We have so much information shared by Ms. Jong Icasiano. Please, again, we encourage you to share your thoughts. What did you learn or like best in today's discussion about nutrition? Write them in the comment section down below, especially if you personally found a tip very, very handy. We'd appreciate your feedback. Any advice, by the way, last bit of reminder, any bit of advice given by our guest expert should not be misconstrued as a prescription, also not intended as a substitute for professional medical advice, nor for medical diagnosis or treatment, okay? Please continue to consult your own healthcare professionals. And last but not least, in compliance with the Milk Code, questions and concerns in our discussion today are for children 3 years old and above. 3 years old and above only. So this has been Raising Alpha Kids While at Home, Episode 3, Ensuring Alpha Nutrition While at Home. Brought to you by Promil Gold 4 and Rappler. Again, I am Isa Litton. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you for the next episode. Thank you very much to Promil Gold 4 for helping keep Alpha Kids think fast and stay ahead in a fast-changing world. Bye!
Promo Gold 4 presents Science Week.
We were decorating the classroom for Science Week. Everything was fun until look! My classmate fell on his arm. Oh no! I had to think fast. Guess what I did? I took my classmate's hoodie, folded it into a sling. I led everyone to the clinic. Now He's feeling a lot better. Problem solved. I'm an Alpha Kid.
Powered by Promil Gold 4. Your child can be an Alpha Kid too. Visit facebook.com/PromilGold4.